Babylon tries to chain I and I with fear, vanity, and confusion. But inside every soul, Jah planted a seed of greatness, a spark of divine light waiting to grow. Unlocking a better you is not about chasing Babylon's idea of success. It is about rising into the fullness of who Jah created you to be. Rastafari teaches that man was not born to crawl, but to stand upright in dignity, to chant praises to the Most High, and to live Zion consciousness daily. The keys to a better you are already within, in the mind, in the words you speak, and in the livity you live. In this video, I will share the most powerful Rasta ways to grow, so that you can unlock the higher I, rise above Babylon, and walk strong in Jah light. Every journey of growth must begin at the root, and in Rastafari livity, the root is word sound power. Before I can change the body, before wealth, before achievement, the change must begin with the tongue and the mind. For words are not just sounds floating in the air, they are living vibrations that shape reality. The scripture itself begins with this principle. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1 verse 1. Jah created through speech, and that divine power is reflected in man and woman, for we are made in His image. Babylon knows the same truth, but Babylon uses it against the people. That is why the airwaves overflow with violent lyrics, degrading speech, and confusion. Words repeated over and over sink into the subconscious and begin to create the world around you. If you tell yourself you are weak, you become weak. If you call yourself lost, you remain lost. If you fill your ears with Babylon songs that celebrate vanity, violence, and self-destruction, then those seeds take root in your mind and bear bitter fruit. But Rastafari say, cut it off. Replace Babylon poison with word sound power. This is not just theory, it is a practice. Every word you speak should uplift, not tear down. Every sound you chant should build, not destroy. Every declaration must align with Jah truth. That is why Rasta say, I. To say I is to recognize Jah within self and Jah within others. It removes division, pride, and ego. Instead of Babylon's separation, me versus you, word sound power creates unity and consciousness. I reminds the speaker that the divine spark dwells within every soul. This is why in Rasta reasoning sessions, every word is carefully weighed. When brethren and sistren gather, the speech is not idle chatter, but upliftment. When Nyabingi drums thunder and chants rise, it is not just music, it is a weapon. The chants call down the spirit of Jah. They cleanse the atmosphere, they strengthen the soul. Word sound power in this way is not entertainment, but spiritual warfare. The sound of the heart, aligned with the words of truth, breaks the chains of Babylon. To unlock a better you, discipline the tongue. Speak blessings over yourself and over others. Chant psalms in the morning instead of gossip. Instead of saying, I can't, declare, I can do all things through Jah who strengthens I. The ear hears the word, the mind receives the word, and the body follows the word. What you repeat becomes what you are. That is why Joshua, Jesus, said, by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Matthew 12 verse 37. Your word is your law, and your growth depends on it. The practical steps are simple but powerful. Wake up each day and bless yourself with speech. I am strong in Jah. I am guided by His light. I am growing into Zion. Write words of affirmation, chant them, sing them, let them vibrate in your spirit. Surround yourself with word sound that builds, spiritual music, holy scriptures, uplifting reasoning. Cut out Babylon words that drain your soul, curses, hate, gossip, and negative speech. Every word is a seed. Plant only those that bear good fruit. For as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man speaketh, so he becomes. The tongue is fire, and it can burn or it can purify. To unlock a better you, master the word sound power. Align your speech with Jah, and your growth will be rooted in divine vibration. This is the first and most powerful key. For if you cannot control your word, you cannot control your destiny. But when your word is truth, your sound is pure, and your power is aligned with the Most High, then no Babylon chain can hold you back. Growth through struggles, Jah's refining fire. Rastafari teach that growth does not come in comfort. and it does not come when the path is smooth. True elevation is born in the fire of trials, in the storms that shake the soul, in the struggles that test the spirit. Babylon wants you to believe that struggle is punishment, that hardship is a curse, that pain is a sign of failure. But I know the truth. Every trial is a blessing cloaked in difficulty, a teacher sent by Jah to refine the spirit and awaken the consciousness. Think of the gold in the earth. Gold is buried under rock, covered in dirt, and must endure heat and fire to become pure. So it is with man and woman. Jah's refining fire comes in many forms: challenges at work, family struggles, sickness, loss, betrayal, the harsh lessons of Babylon life. Each difficulty is a test of faith, a moment to rise above the small self and step into the higher I. The fire of struggle burns away the weak, the vain, the distracted, and leaves behind only the spirit that is strong, pure, and aligned with Jah. The scriptures speak to this power of refinement. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Job 23 verse 10. This is the Rasta way of seeing life. Every trial is an opportunity to rise, not to fall. Every hardship carries the seed of wisdom. The faithful see the fire and say, Blessed be Jah, for in this fire I grow stronger. The Babylon mind sees only pain, confusion, and despair. The Rasta mind sees purification, awakening, and elevation. Growth through struggle also teaches humility. Babylon trains pride and ego, but Rasta learns to bend without breaking. To face difficulty with a calm heart, to walk with Jah in storms, is the ultimate sign of strength. Courage and patience become companions on the path to self-mastery. When I confront the harshness of Babylon and yet keep the mind and heart aligned with Jah, the spirit grows like a tree rooted in Zion soil, unshaken, even when the storms howl. Practical growth in struggle requires awareness. Recognize the lesson in each difficulty. Reflect on how it strengthens patience, sharpens understanding, and deepens your faith. Meditate, chant, and pray through the hard times. Let the fire refine your mind as well as your soul. Do not curse the hardship. Embrace it as the instrument of Jah's hand, shaping I into the fullness of the divine image. Every great Rasta leader walked through struggles. Haile Selassie, Marcus Garvey, the elders of Zion, all faced trials, all endured Babylon oppression. Yet they rose, not by avoiding the fire, but by stepping into it with faith. Growth does not come by waiting for comfort. It comes by walking boldly, with I heart aligned to Jah, through the fires that test all things. To unlock a better you, see struggle as your ally, not your enemy. Each difficulty is a step on the ladder toward wisdom, strength, and spiritual sovereignty. Rise above the temptation to complain, to blame, or to despair. Instead, give thanks, for Jah is molding you. Your pain is the forge, your patience is the hammer, and your faith is the gold that emerges radiant. When Babylon shakes you, stand firm. When the world tempts you to bow, remain upright. For the fire of struggle is not meant to destroy, but to reveal the strength, the courage, and the divinity within I. Live Ital, eat clean, walk natural, roots of growth. Rastafari teach that the temple of Jah is the body, and to grow higher, to unlock the better I, one must honor that temple with care, purity, and respect. Ital living is not just a diet. It is a spiritual practice, a lifestyle that connects I to the vibrations of Jah, to the earth, and to the light within. Every choice in livity, the foods eaten, the words spoken, the movements made, carries energy. Babylon would have I believe that it is only the mind that matters, that spirit can be nurtured without the body. But the Rasta knows, the two are one, and the temple must be kept holy. Ital begins with the food, the sustenance that nourishes not just the flesh, but the mind and the spirit. No chemicals, no dead flesh, no poisons from Babylon. Only life, only creation as Jah intended. Fruits, vegetables, herbs, and clean water are the instruments of spiritual elevation. Eating Ital brings clarity to the mind, strengthens the body, and heightens the senses to perceive Jah's presence. Every bite is a prayer, a step closer to Zion consciousness. When I honor the temple with pure food, the spirit can grow without obstruction. But Ital is more than food. It is livity in harmony with nature. Walk in the sunshine, breathe the fresh air, feel the soil beneath your feet. Babylon teaches separation from creation, but the Rasta walks with the earth as a companion, a teacher, a witness to Jah's glory. Growth flows when I align with natural rhythms, resting when the body calls, moving when the spirit calls, listening when the heart calls. Each step becomes conscious, each breath a connection to life itself. Water, too, is holy. Clean water purifies the body and mind, washing away the toxins of Babylon's influence. Drink deep, meditate, and let the living waters of creation flow through your being. Herbs, sacred and natural, can also assist, not for Babylon intoxication, but for healing, for clarity, for communion with Jah. When used with reverence, they become medicine for the soul, aiding the process of growth and spiritual alignment. Walking natural is also a matter of posture, movement, and presence. Stand upright, with dignity, with awareness of Jah within. Move through the world without haste or haste of thought, letting intention guide each action. Growth flows not only from the body that is fed and cared for, but from the spirit that walks in harmony with the laws of nature and the guidance of Jah. Practical steps for I. Begin each day with a meal that is clean, unprocessed, and natural. Drink water mindfully, using each sip as a reminder of life and connection to Jah. Walk, move, and breathe consciously, feeling the energy of the earth flow through your being. Avoid Babylon toxins, alcohol, processed foods, and unnecessary chemicals that cloud the mind and weaken the temple. Incorporate herbs and natural remedies with reverence, using them to strengthen body and spirit. When I live Ital, eat clean, and walk natural, growth is inevitable. The body becomes a vessel of light, the mind a clear mirror of Jah's wisdom, and the spirit a flame that cannot be extinguished by Babylon. Growth is no longer just a concept, it is a lived experience. The better I emerges, rooted in purity, nourished by creation, and guided by Jah. To unlock a better you, honor the temple. Let every choice, every bite, every step be a reflection of your commitment to livity. For when body, mind, and spirit are aligned, no force in Babylon can hold back the power of Jah working within I. Walk bold with the Lion of Judah, courage and faith. Rastafari teach that growth cannot be separated from courage. To unlock a better you, I must walk bold, upright, and fearless, guided by the Lion of Judah. The lion is not just a symbol, it is the living spirit of strength, sovereignty, and divine protection. When Babylon tries to intimidate, to control, to shake the heart with fear, the lion reminds the faithful that true power comes from Jah alone. To walk bold is to move in faith, not in doubt. To speak truth, not lies. To stand firm, not crumble. Babylon surrounds the people with fear. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of rejection. All tools to keep the spirit small and weak. But Rastafari reasoning says, fear has no place in the heart aligned with Jah. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the presence of faith. The lion roars within every soul that recognizes its divine origin. It is a roar that silences the lies of Babylon and empowers I to rise above oppression, temptation, and doubt. Growth comes when I choose to act despite fear. It is easy to follow the crowd, to bow to Babylon rules, to compromise integrity for temporary comfort. But growth demands standing firm, walking upright, and trusting in Jah guidance. Every choice, every step, every word spoken in truth strengthens the lion within. It is a daily practice. Courage in small things builds courage for the great battles. Speak truth in love, defend the weak, walk with dignity, and never bow to pressure that compromises your livity. The scriptures teach the same principle. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. The Lion of Judah walks with I at every step. Fear loses its power when faith is strong, when the heart trusts Jah fully, and when the spirit aligns with the eternal light of Zion. Practical ways to walk bold include: begin the day with affirmation of courage. I and I walk with the Lion of Judah. Fear cannot touch I and I. Take small steps outside comfort zones, building confidence and faith in Jah's guidance. Stand for truth, even when it is unpopular or challenging. Meditate on the Lion of Judah as a living symbol of strength and sovereignty. Face challenges with calmness and prayer, knowing Jah is the shield and protector. Walking bold is not arrogance. It is not aggression. It is a quiet, unshakable confidence rooted in divine presence. The lion within does not boast. It roars silently in the heart of I and I, giving courage to act righteously, to protect the temple, and to pursue growth without hesitation. When I and I walk with the lion, fear cannot bind the spirit. The better self emerges naturally, strong, fearless, and radiant with Jah light. Babylon may rage around, may try to distract, may attempt to intimidate, but the lion is steady, unmovable, and eternal. Growth is assured when I and I align with this power, for courage is the bridge between potential and fulfillment, between struggle and mastery, between the seed of greatness and its full blossoming. To unlock a better you, embrace the lion. Walk with courage in the heart, faith in the mind, and righteousness in the actions. Let every step echo with the roar of Jah, letting Babylon know that I and I are not bound, not shaken, and forever guided by the eternal Lion of Judah. Practice liberty of love and oneness. I and I, the ultimate growth. The final key to unlocking a better you lies in love. Not Babylon love that seeks gain, control, or ego satisfaction, but the Rasta love that flows from Jah, the love that unites, heals, and elevates. I and I must walk in oneness, seeing ourselves in every man, woman, and child, knowing that Jah resides in all creation. This is the heart of Rastafari liberty, unity, compassion, and conscious connection. Growth is incomplete if it is selfish, for a spirit that isolates itself will never reach its full potential. Babylon teaches division, competition, and pride. It tells I and I to look at others with jealousy, to chase after wealth and status, to measure life by material gain. But Rastafari see the world differently. True growth comes when I and I extend the hand of love, when I and I uplift brethren and sistren, when I and I work to heal, not harm, when I and I recognize that what benefits one benefits all. This is the principle of I and I, the language of unity, the recognition of divine spark in every soul. Love in action is powerful. Speak blessings, not curses. Heal wounds with patience and understanding. Share wisdom, share food, share time, share compassion. Service is not a burden. It is the highest expression of growth. I and I grow strongest when the better self reaches out to others, when personal elevation and community elevation walk hand in hand. In giving, the spirit multiplies. In serving, the soul expands. In loving, the heart awakens to its fullest potential. The scriptures teach this truth. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Mark 12 verse 31. To live this commandment is to practice I and I, to align the mind, the body, and the spirit with Jah's eternal laws. Each act of kindness, each moment of patience, each choice to forgive or uplift strengthens I and I in ways that solitary growth never can. Liberty of love is the culmination of all the keys we have spoken of: word sound power, growth through struggle, purity of body, courage in action, and now, service to creation. Practical steps to live in love and oneness include: speak to others with respect, acknowledging the divine within them. Offer help where it is needed, without expectation of reward. Share knowledge, wisdom, and resources to uplift the community. Practice patience, forgiveness, and understanding in daily interactions. Meditate on I and I consciousness, seeing every being as part of the divine whole. To truly unlock a better you, let this principle guide all actions. Align every choice with love, every word with unity, every movement with service. Growth is no longer individual. It becomes collective, expansive, and eternal. The better I emerges as a vessel of Jah light, a source of inspiration, and a living example of Zion consciousness in action. Now, I and I invite you to step fully into this path. Begin today. Speak truth, walk bold, live ital, embrace struggle, and love without measure. Let the light of Jah guide your growth, and let the better you shine as a beacon to others lost in Babylon. Share this wisdom, uplift a brother or sister, and walk with eye and eye in the power of unity and love. Subscribe, join the journey, and continue to grow, for the path to Zion is open, and every step taken in Jah light brings I and I closer to the fullness of the higher self.